Hey, it's Brian Icenhower, and I'm here with Christina Morales once again. Christina, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Brian?
I'm good, man. Thanks for helping me with this. So, I know you wanted to talk about our agent management portal and how some of our teams are using this. What in specific, though? What'd you have in mind?
I've been working with a lot of your teams, and some of them are killing it, and they're doing such unique things. And so I wanted to show you and get your ideas. We bring ideas to you, and you just bring them up to the next level. I want to share them with our AMP clients so they can implement them with their teams because I'm telling you, our clients are doing an amazing thing with this AMP product.
Yes, and so I'll tell you what I know, and then in the meantime, I want you to be looking around because I want to show these guys what they're doing it too. So be looking around for an example of one of our teams we work with that does it. But in the meantime, I think what the coolest thing that they're doing from a creativity standpoint is how they're actually using the agent management portal, or what we call the AMP, to create their own training content. And they're creating their own courses, they're shooting their own training sessions. They're doing so many neat new things with them. That's amazing. And as the industry evolves, we've seen it with heck, a pandemic, NAR settlements, and just the normal ebb and throw of flow of changes within our industry. All of those changes lead to new forms and contracts and disclosures that need to be created. And most of our clients are the leaders, owners, and managers of real estate brokerages and teams. And one of the things we try to do is not only help them increase their income, we're also trying to preserve their time. And that's the only way you can scale a business to get larger without overworking yourself. Because if you're in a business model that the only way to make more money is to work harder, you're in a bad business model. And what the AMP does is it enables leaders to scale their business so they can have more agents, they can manage more agents, they can train more agents, they can onboard more agents, they can handle deal doctor type of questions from their agents much more effectively and efficiently than the old fashioned. They text you and say, "Can we talk? I've got a problem." And during big changes in the industry, let's take the NAR settlement change, which is probably going to keep on happening. That's when brokers are working overtime. They're getting a call every day. How do I fill out this buyer agency agreement? How do I fill out this listing agreement? What happens when I get an offer from another agent that doesn't do this with commission or does do this with commission? What happens if I want to put an offer in? What do I do with my existing listings when we're changing all this? All of those types of things are just phone call after phone call, and that causes leads not to grow. They stop generating business themselves. They stop trying to recruit and grow their agent count in their organizations, and they just circle the wagons and just try to handle the mess. And we don't ever want to get stagnant like that. All top leaders know we always want to maintain that growth mentality. So using the agent management portal is what's really helped our clients continue to grow through a very turbulent season. And during turbulent seasons, that's when agents move around. That's when they jump ship. That's the hunting season if you're a recruiter. And if you're able to keep growing through it by showing them the tools that their broker didn't have, it's very easy to use the AMP to grow your agent count and recruit at a high level by providing a very clearly and easy to show way that your technology and your systems and your trainings are just at a higher level than their brokers or their teams. And so one of the things they're doing, for example, I'll keep using the NAR settlement as example, but this happens with anything. They're shooting training videos. Now that the pandemic's happened, everybody knows how to get on Zoom or Google Meets or Microsoft Teams, and they know how to screen share their video and show people how to fill out a listing agreement, a buyer agency agreement, and every other form and disclosure that your agents use. So they're creating individual videos to accumulate a video library of all their forms, disclosures, and documents that agents need to know. So when they ask you, how do I fill this out? You've actually got it all on the AMP. So they don't need to call you, number one. And what's better is they don't need to wait to call you because they don't want to call you at 6 a.m. on a Saturday or at 7 p.m. on a Sunday when they really need the knowledge because their kids are maybe in bed and they can actually get their work done to get that offer submitted for their client. Otherwise, they're going to wait till Monday to call you when it's appropriate. And they're not going to be able to do as urgent of a service as needed for their client to get an offer in or to respond to a client's question or whatever the urgency may be. So they can do it on their own. And over time, they will learn that's where all their answers are. On demand training that's still going to have your face, still going to be you because it's your video, you're shooting it, you're talking, you're advising them. So when they do come to you, you can even say, hey, go to watch that video first. Then if you still have a question, text me. Can you do that for me? And if you learn that script, you will train them to go to where their sources are. And at times when you're busiest, those are always the times when you have the biggest opportunity to grow. You just need to train your agents to know where to go. They're used to coming to you. I get it. That's normal, but they're not used to a much better tool that has all the training they need at their fingertips. Plus, if they're filling out a form, they can have your video playing in the AMP. They can stop it, they can pause it, and they can write, and then they can hit play again. Gone are the days where you sit side by side in front of a computer and train someone in person how to do it. That is very old fashioned. If you want to demonstrate your technical ability, your training ability, there's no better way. And that's why this revolutionary tool is helping these people advance, let alone if you've got other offices or people in remote locations or it's inconvenient for people to have to come into the office or pick up a telephone and call someone. If you're having to do that internally, pick up telephones and call each other, man, they better be very serious personal issues. You know what I mean? We can't have that be the normal mean of communication in this day and age. And the AMP enables the most efficient way to do that. That's why it's so revolutionary and you're not seeing everybody to do it. So using our course creator is simple as going in, hitting record, and talking. We also have the capability in the AMP, and a lot of our agents use this to just record their team meetings that are in person. So you've got an in-person team meeting, or maybe you've got some people logging in remotely, and you just hit record. And now you've got a library of all your team or sales meetings that you've done maybe on a weekly basis, and you can point people back to it. Hey, we covered that. How often as a leader do we say, man, I wish they had just, it's always the ones that don't attend the sales meetings that have the questions that we covered in the sales meetings. Now you can actually say, hey, why don't you go back and watch that? It's in the AMP. Once you do that, I'll answer the question. Can you do that for me? And you're going to start training them to actually solve their own problem. This is the one thing I know people always knock millennials, but the one thing I love about millennials, and I'm not one by a long shot, but what I love about millennials is they actually figure out their own questions. They know they are programmed to go onto YouTube and just learn how to do it themselves first. There's negatives about that, I suppose, too, but they figure it out on their own. Whereas people like Gen Xers and Boomers, I'm a Gen Xer, man, they want to be told, right? So millennials enable you to scale if you provide them a platform where they can actually figure it out on their own. And that's what the AMP does. It creates your own little YouTube of all the content that they need from you. So you can keep building and building. And it doesn't just stop with forms, guys. For example, every local area has their own multiple listing service where they input their listings, search for properties, set clients up on listing e-alerts, things like that. You know, they usually have to go to MLS training and things like that, and they don't remember it, and they ask you or they ask around the office, and they find it out from another agent, so you don't get the credit for training them, right? However, if you just simply go in, share your screen the same exact way, and show how to set up a client search, or how to input a listing, or how to upload photos, or how to prepare a CMA, a comparative market analysis for your client in your MLS. If you just show them and create a little video for each one, so they're little tidbits, don't shoot a big long one. Think like a millennial. They don't want like a lecture, you know? They want to be able to go right to, oh, there's how to do a CMA. Oh, there's how to input a listing, you know? And every function that gets used at a very high level from your MLS software system, shoot a video about it. That way they don't have to watch one long video and try to wait for the part that comes up that they need. Break it down. Plus, you get a much more impressive library. A lot of our clients, our coaches, and our consultants are holding our clients accountable to shooting 5 videos a day. And they're usually like 2 or 3 minute videos. But that library just starts building in the AMP. And of course, you can always export this content so that you've got it in MP4 files, maybe save them in a Google Drive or something like that. So you've actually got the hard copies forever. And if you have the hard copies, if you have MP4 files, you've shot it in the course creator, right? And then you just basically export it in 10 seconds and pop it into Google Drive. Doesn't have to ever touch your PC or your hard copy or your phone or anything. So you don't have to mess with these big files. Then you can very easily share some of this stuff on social media content. You can actually turn this around as an internal retention and training feature and actually make it a recruiting feature. A lot of our clients rose to the level of guru in their local markets because they were telling agents at other offices how to fill out the new forms. You know what I'm saying? They're out there. I didn't get that from my broker. That's probably because they didn't go to the sales meeting, because most people don't. But fact of the matter is they learned it from you. So you actually get some influence over all these agents in your local communities, and they're very appreciative that you actually brought the training to them, rather than requiring you to actually go into an office and watch it live and then try to remember everything because they forget it. And then they actually go to you. So we can turn around this training content that you're creating and establish you as the local authority on MLS searches, on your new forms and disclosures. If you get a call from your agents all the time and it's the same issues over and over, you know what it is. Can I get my client's deposit back, or do I have to return the client's deposit? Things like that. The repetitive questions. You need to shoot a video for that so that you never have to answer that question again until someone watches it. And you'll see that if you make them watch it and they still have a question and they reach out to you afterwards, about 90 to 95% of the time, they do not call you. That video is exactly what they needed. Even though they want some hand holding, they realize and they're like, whoa, this is awesome. Then they start going back there, always looking for their solutions every single time. It's absolutely phenomenal. And this works with everything too. You can keep going into things like your CRM. You typically have your own customer relationship management system, right? And they need to know how to upload contacts, how to set action plans, how to input images into a marketing email, or things like all the things that you use your CRM for. A same deal. Create the course so it's coming from you. Don't go make them watch the CRM video, their company. Make yourself the trainer so they start to learn that you're the reason that they're there, that you add value. You're not just making them go to somebody else. So when they ask these questions, same thing. Watch the video first. When you onboard agents, our clients use our agent onboarding calendar, which is actually contained within the agent management portal. So they have to actually go through all this training when they first get onboarded. And brand new licensees, man, that's what they want. Once they've been in the business 6 months to a year, they don't ever want to do any training ever again. I get it. But you do have them when they're in their first 6 months to a year. They expect to be onboarded and go through an orientation as if they were at Google or something. Take advantage of that time. That's when they're a sponge and all they want is training. You just have to overload them at that time. Give them tons of training. Then they always know where to go back to it when they need to remember it, recall it, and actually utilize it. A lot of you have office administration orientation, right? They got to know where the offices are. They got to know how to work the copy machine. They got to know where to park, where to get their codes, how to join the MLS, and how to transfer licenses, and all those different things that are just general office orientation. Shoot videos for all that stuff. A lot of people have an entire staff member to handle this stuff when this can all be digital you on a screen explaining it all. And then they get to know you better. They establish a relationship with you. Believe it or not, that's what video does. And it's all there so that they forget, they can go back to it. It's absolutely amazing. All office file compliance, that's another topic. What are the rules about office file compliance? How we're going to cut commission slips and checks, commission disbursement forms, all of those different things. When signed documents need to go up into Dotloop or DocuSign. And that's the other thing. The agent management portal, it integrates with all these software pieces. It integrates with Zoom, Google, DocuSign, Dotloop. All of those platforms are brought together into the agent management portal. So it's very easy to have training courses there. We want all your agents to start in the agent management portal and then go to your MLS system through the portal, because it integrates with any MLS system too. So all of a sudden you can move right to there. That way they always know where to go, so they don't need you in person. They don't need you on the phone. So we have to train people to use the portal and then go from there. That way they become dependent on a very valuable tool that your brokerage provides to them. And that's crucial. So it doesn't need to come from you. It comes from something that you provide them that scales at a very high level. We have people that have thousands of agents training on this, entire brokerages that are in multiple states at very high levels. And it enables you to grow a company to that level without always needing you, which is where most brokerages get stuck. They say, oh, I just want to be a boutique because they realize it's so hard to grow because there's only so much of them. This actually, for the first time in the history of the real estate industry, solves that problem. So that's our agent management portal. That's just the course creation tool, let alone all the courses we provide you and all the other features that it provides you as well, too. That's just the one little aspect, and it's a powerful one. Christina, can you show how one of our teams does that?
Your friend and mine, Rick Fuller, I peeked into his because I know he just did a webinar on the NAR settlement, and both of you have done a podcast on this on the NAR settlement. So I peeked into theirs,
Look
and
at that.
can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, they have market and team meeting updates. And so when I check this out, you can see that they've divided theirs into team meetings by date. And then there's the agenda that goes with each team meeting. The video unit, like you were saying, I talked to one of their team members and they recorded on Zoom and Read AI. So they just download it and then upload it into the AMP. So you can do it whatever's easiest for you. And then here's the NAR settlement meeting that they had. And so you can see the entire agenda, the video unit, and then it also goes into, it has all of the forms in it too.
Each
So
form broken down so they can go to
yeah, so
Enroll.
each form's broken down, highlighted, the red parts. Everyone showed up to the meeting. They already had all the forms, they already had all their highlighters, and it was interactive. And so if someone missed that meeting, they could load the form from the app, see the highlighted portions that have changed on the forms, watch it. Like you said, they didn't have to go back and ask questions. It was a 2-hour meeting. I just checked. It was a 2-hour meeting. Nobody wants to go back through and reteach a 2-hour meeting. As a leader, you don't want to do that for your
Right.
meetings that missed it. And so here are all the forms, the recording, the agenda, and
Can you go back to that homepage that you had on there with all the different types of uses? Look at that. You're going through there's all their team meeting updates. You can see they have their industry update with all the graphs and charts that they can use to give to their agents, to give to their clients, and listing and buyer consultations. They had like their MLS training on there somewhere. And those are all courses that they've created, mixed in with all the courses that Eicenhower coaching and training provides for them all the way through. But look, their organizational structure is all in there. What else have they created in there? That's just
the
amazing.
library is awesome. Here's the library of resources. And for ancillary businesses for multiple income streams, they have ADU Warehouse. Sometimes Rick or another broker on the team will have a broker corner on changes in the industry so they can go under the broker corner. For the internal
Yeah.
coaching, they've
So,
taken
so
your
they have like mortgage partners in there and how to use them, insurance partners in there, how to use them, title, all those different ones in there. Go back to that screen with all the buttons on there. I like that one. Because then you can see all the different uses in there. Yeah, look at what are some of those that they've created?
the longer an agent is on the team, the more benefits they get. And so there's listing levels. So they've divided their team into groups. So you have new agent onboarding, which is like the first 90 days and a certain number of transactions. Once they get past that, then they move up to level 2 and they have more opportunities to be internal coaches and mentors on the
Okay.
team, things like that. And so they've divided into groups because you have so many awesome courses, but it can get overwhelming or people
Yes.
want to see, oh, I really want to learn about this when they should be focusing on their SOI. They shouldn't be focusing on flipping houses.
They unlock different training levels and different courses and different expectations about what they should be doing as they grow, spend more time, achieve new production standards, things like that. So all the training and orientation is right there, customized for them with their team colors, with their logo everywhere, all done in our course creator tool for them, which is just fabulous. And they can scale. And these are guys, believe it or not, that they live in different states. They have agents all over the place in different cities. They have many streams of income. They are the leaders of this team are completely out of production, yet one of the highest producing teams in the state of California, up in the San Francisco Bay Area as well too. So leverage to the hilt. So they're using this tool at such an amazing level. It's very easy to recruit with something like that because so many agents just want more information about how to do things. If you don't believe that, go into Facebook groups of agents. They're lost all the time just because they're expecting the kind of training they would get out in the W-2 employee world. And they just don't get that in real estate. It's just, like, hey, welcome to our thing and just hit the ground running. You know what I mean? And what this does is it really professionalizes the industry and sets our clients that actually do use the AMP much further ahead than all the competition in their local areas. So thank you for that, Christina. I do like that overview too. Great example. Course creator tool, man. Build your own library, build your own influence, and get yourself some time back. That's all. So
Yeah,
very
very
cool.
cool.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being with us today. I really appreciate it. Christina, thank you. Great question. Great topic.
Thanks, Brian.